Do I hate the Philippines? It's something that people often bring up because they seem to watch one perspective. Because I noticed this myself when I did a video of 10 things that could go wrong in the Philippines and 10 good things about the Philippines. More people are interested on bad than good. You know, you get people say, "Oh, you hate the Philippines." You know, they made this video. They never even looked for the other half of the two videos, because the fact is, like anywhere on the planet, it's not all positive. And the reason I put negative and positive in separate videos is because, like, the things that will affect most expats moving there, they are gonna be on that list they don't like. In the same way, the positive things are also going to be things that they will come across. But if you put them together, it's a bit harder to understand both sides. It makes the video a bit long, you know, because you want to absorb a bit of information at a pace that is easy to understand and also absorb it. That's why there's a hate. But I don't even use the word hate because it's things that'll bug you. Because bugging is very different to the word hate. See, if I hate if I hate queuing, it's something I really dislike. But when you say I hate X and it relates to something specific, it becomes a very harsh word. So it's a word I don't use too often, to be honest. I find the Philippines has a lot of silent irritants or very small irritants. There's nothing that really, you know, you're going to blow your mind and make you go mad about something. And that's one of the things I wanted to stress. Now, okay, it's full of corruption, but I find every society's got corruption, but in different ways. For example, the UK has a lot of these new energy saving schemes coming out, which seem to be um, very associated with an in-house crowd, in the same way the Quangos with the Labour government formerly, where they elect themselves onto boards for jobs that really shouldn't exist. That's UK corruption. That's the fact. I want to make this very clear. The fact is, it doesn't matter where you are, these things go on. But when I stress the stuff on the Philippines, it's because I'm in the Philippines at the time. Also, it's stuff people are asking me about. Um, like, you know, I get people say, "Oh, stick 500 pesos in your passport so you don't have headaches at the passport control." Fact is, I've never had any headaches. I don't do it. A lot of this stuff that goes about happens because you get somebody's told it by some relative or somebody else has done it previously, and it's like Chinese whispers. It just goes round, and then people just think you have to do these things. The answer is you don't have to do any of them. You know, most of the time, I can't think of anywhere or any time in the Philippines where I've had felt the need or wanted to use corruption in the system. It's, I know some people do it to make life easier for themselves, but like now with these 13A visa 13A visa searches that are going on, where they're looking for those fake documents that were produced by people within the immigration service, because I can actually name one of the people that do it. But who's at fault? The fact that the officials are corrupt, or that people that are corrupt and use the system and now being caught out with it? For me, they're both guilty. But I know that there will be people whining that their visas are fake and they're being caught and it's all the immigration officials' fault. Fact is, no, your paperwork is wrong to start with. I have no sympathy, sorry. You know, if you're in the country illegally, that's your problem. It's not the government's problem. You've made it their problem by you being there with illegal documents. So, I just wanted to stress the fact is the Philippines has a lot of positive stuff as well as negative. But you need to be aware, if I put something with negative on it, look for the video for the positives as well, because they both exist. They're done in a way so that they're They're clear to understand, because most of the stuff that goes on in the Philippines are bug hates. They're not slap you in the face, horror stories or anything like that. And there's a reason for it, because you're limiting yourself to being involved in local politics. You're not touching it. You know, if you ask me about the relief efforts and the corruption involved in that, that is a political thing that most expats would not touch with a barge pole. See, this is the thing. I don't talk about the relief effort stuff. I did stuff myself, and when I went out there, I did see that 90% of what was going on was private individuals and companies. It wasn't government, it wasn't international, it was actual people doing the stuff for people. Even the stuff collected at barangay municipal halls, the town halls, city halls. Most of that aid, from what I was seeing and talking to people, come from local businesses. I know a relative of ours donated sacks of rice because the landlord who owned all the buildings that all these stores operate from collected it all and sent it up to the city hall. Then the city hall, you know, stick their label on it or whatever they do. I'm not really getting into the politics of it because we all know there's dirty politics. But the fact is, all that money was from people. It was not from the government itself. What happened with the money with the government? I don't know. What did they do to help? I don't know. The fact is, a lot of it is just a farce. But that is for Filipinos to deal with. It's their government. You're only there to observe, enjoy, relax, retire. You are not a Filipino. That's why me, like many other expats, just keep a wide berth of the stuff that you can't change and are likely to have yourself deported for or get hassled over, because it's just not worth it. If a country's people won't sort it out themselves, you shouldn't look to change things that you can't change. You're just going to end up an unhappy person there. But like I said, I did my bit. We did a bit of aid run ourselves, with the help of the guys from our call center and some of our friends overseas. We all put things together to help, but that's a personal thing. That's something we did ourselves. It's not got a political involvement. There's not a political agenda. It's not about gaining something from it. It was all about getting stuff to where it was needed as soon as possible. Which is why I didn't talk about the aid stuff when I put what I don't like about the Philippines together, because I didn't discuss it. And the reason being is these are things that Filipinos have to deal with themselves. It's not an expat's problem. Visas are an expat's problem. Getting good food in the Philippines is an expat's problem. They're day-to-day life things where you're the guy that's got the cash, and these are the things that you need to get done. And if you're not getting the service you want, you need to find a solution for it. Like SNR supermarkets, that's a good resource in the Philippines for expat food. At the same time, you could adapt your diet to the local food, but then you'll get on the same videos where people say, "Oh, I don't like that," or "I don't like this." They will criticize, saying, "Well, why should you change your diet? There's too much bad things in the white rice. The chickens got stuff injected into it. God knows what." Fact is, it's a third world country. You can't get away from it. Doesn't matter what you got. All I'm doing here is sharing information for the good and bad, so you can make your judgment if it's the place for you. It's like somebody said to me the other day, "I can live in the Philippines for $500 a month." You know what? I know people that do it, and they're not living a happy life. But somebody from outside saying it, I'll just say, look, do what you like, head to the country, don't come whining, because at the end of the day, you've already been told it's not as easy as it sounds. And if that's your budget, good luck to you. Because The key factor here is information I'm sharing is from knowledge on the ground. I've been there. I've been there since 2007. I've got friends around different parts of the Philippines, which is why I always say if you're going to move there, move around. Because I know when I went out to Negros, which is just off the coast of Cebu, food seemed 30% cheaper. There's certain towns with no electric bills because of the power plants. There's certain things going on there which don't go on in Cebu. At the same time, I don't have 1,000 restaurants on my doorstep in Negros. It's very limited on the food in comparison. Internet, it's the same. I've got a friend in Pilar. He's got they've had no internet for I think 1 or 2 months now. They don't even know when they're going to get things switched on. They've still got no power. That's what happens when you get further out. But the further out you get from the cities, things get cheaper. Now, if you like eating fruit every day, you can get it on these farms and stuff. All the markets, it's all available and it's cheap out in the provinces. But then, if you like your good food and like dining out somewhere, you're not going to have it. You've got to be near the cities to get the good restaurants. So that's the yin and yang of the Philippines. This is the good and bad. If I sit there and did a video 10 bad things about the provinces, I would also do 10 good things about the provinces. In the same way I'll do 10 good things about the city, 10 bad things about the city. They're basically just a basic guide of things to think about. They're not a be all and end all of information. They're just to get you to think about these things that you may not have even looked at. Like the tourist visas. It's surprising how many people aren't aware of how the visa system works. Now, it's something you should look into online, because you get on the forums and just see what people are talking about with the visas. But the system hasn't really changed since I've been in the Philippines. It's been consistent. I can't say consistently bad, because I haven't had the problems that some of the other guys have had. But a lot of that is how you present yourself, how you act around people. Because I have to admit, one of the things that you'll hear a lot in the Philippines is about the angry foreigner. That's how they see a lot of Westerners. Because a lot of the stuff Filipinos put up with, they're used to. But there's a lot of bad service things which will annoy you. And the fact is, you just gotta go, okay, that's just the way it is. This my latest phrase for this is, if your standards are too high, if you're not happy with the standard, lower them. Now, it sounds a bit humorous, but it's actually the best way of dealing with a lot of this stuff. If the expectation's a bit lower than you're normally used to, if you get something fantastic, then you're going to be pleasantly surprised. But generally, I find things are not the way they should be. No point grumbling about it. You'll get these problems from time to time. Welcome to the Philippines is the phrase. Don't let it bother you. The more it bothers you, the more you're going to get bugged about little things. Like I said, these are things that bug you. You shouldn't be hating these things, they should be bugging you. Because the thing with bugging things, like if it's loud outside at certain times of the day, change your windows. Do something to insulate so you lose sound. Because you're not going to change your neighbors. But generally, that's how things are. And I just want to make this quick video just to say, you got to take everything with a pinch of salt. There's two sides to every coin, and if somebody says something negative about something, don't suddenly start screaming that it's unfair, blah blah blah, because the fact is, it all comes back to, it was true.